What's going on, y'all? In this video, let's talk about the 5 pills of life that you can take. Now, y'all done heard of the red pill and the blue pill, so let's dissect those first. The blue pill is the pill of naivety. The blue pill is the pill of motherfucking, you just take it and you believe. You believe the shit in this life. Now, some of y'all may still be religious. You may still believe in God. I do believe in an ultimate creator and a supreme being, a supreme identity of this world. But the theologies, which is really what it is, religion is, the word religion is motherfucking defined from a Latin word called religare. So basically it means to tie back or to hold or put in a box. Religion as a verb, you've been religioned. You have a tie over you, religare. You religare something, you tie it, you rope it in. So it's also like boxing something in. So that's basically what a religion is. There's many religions out here. There's many things in your mind that you make to be a religion. And you box yourself in. You don't do nothing outside of these lines. But a theology is the personification of God, of whatever has created this world. Christianity, Catholicism, Judaism, Muslim, it's Buddhism, Hinduism, it's all theologies. So yeah, the blue pill, of course, is believing in that. That's like one level of it, but a lot of y'all that believe in religion is still woke to modern day life. You see the bullshit. You see how life works and functions. So you may be a little bit red pill in your approach to life. But real blue pillars, these motherfuckers believe in sports and shit. I watch basketball, but man, the NFL and the NBA looks very rigged in a lot of ways. A lot of shit adds up. But the highest degree that I've been going and my thoughts is like, how deep is the players in knowing these synchronicities, knowing that these crazy numbers and records being broken, and on this game it correlates synchronistically with this game. Gematria, the study of numbers and numerology and how that shit all ties in. I don't get too deep into that, but it is a real thing and it's a lot of evidence behind the truth of it all. But blue pill, that's the naive pill. That's the pill of the person that just consume entertainment. And mostly y'all look at it in the dating field as a man that's naive to women nature, to female nature. But it's really just nature in general. That's why the red pill on the other end, when it's put in usually in the dating field, because I was kind of taking it from the Matrix. You got the blue pill that you take, you just believe, you go back to sleep, you don't question shit. And the red pill is when you wake up, you see the Matrix for what it is. Y'all watched the movie The Matrix. So he took the red pill. And you got one dude that was like, damn, I should have took the fucking blue pill. And he wanted to go back to the Matrix. He wanted to go back to sleep. He just wanted his comfort, his ease. And that really is a lot of us here in America, because we really don't take the full red pill of waking up to human freedom and fighting for it. Because that's the real red pill. Most of the dating coaches and people online that has an opinion on red pill versus blue pill, they is talking about it in the level of knowing what female hypergamy is, which is just women that want the highest male. They're going to always be attracted to a guy that's a little bit higher in value, better looking, more money, more attractive. So that's something that's naturally encoded in the female biology. But yeah, it's all about talking about dating and men and women. And that just goes, that's a direct effect of the eugenics. Basically, the men and women gender divide, the gender war on this planet. So men is all trying to arm other men up to be good in the dating field, to motherfucking be detached from women, to know how to break hearts and not be attached. All type of shit. Fuck hoes and just get money and blah, blah, blah. Y'all know how the shit go. But it's a counter effect on the side for the women. And mostly this is going on in female rap, and then it's all type of books. Probably other women YouTubers that's telling women how to control and manipulate men, how to get money out of men, how to date and play with multiple men. So it's a big thing going on, but this shit is the gender war here in America and here worldwide. So definitely be aware and awoke to that. But like I mentioned, the red pill is mostly tied in with dating. But of course, in some instances, conspiracy theory and spiritual people will relate the red pill to the Matrix. And that's very true. But it ties into both, because the Matrix is just this physical reality, but the systematic economy matrix is a whole nother thing to wake up from and dissect. And you usually wake up and dissect that first, but then you got to kind of red pill yourself even more, because you can still be blue pill with a belief of religion. Now, like I always say, I'm not here to convert you. I'm going to just lead you to truth and say the shit that's most accurately aligned with truth, and then you pick a side and you choose what you want to be. But I'm here to help you, no matter the case, shape, or form. But really, y'all, I just tell you that this shit comes down to power and courage. Because even when you dating, even when you in a relationship, your power and your courage is going to be an effect of how your relationship looks. The amount of power and courage that you will in this world is going to show exactly how your woman treats you, how women in general treat you, how men in the job environment treat you, how your family treats you. So that's what this shit come down to. Your belief in religion, your belief in God, your belief in some theology, a book, that shit could very well be holding you back socially modern day. But we're going to dissect and get to all of that. Right now, we just focusing on the red pill and the blue pill. It's three more for us to discuss. But yeah, I think y'all got it kind of clear. I think y'all got the picture. The red pill is the matrix in itself, and the matrix ties in with dealing with women, dealing with people, because people still be naive, thinking people ain't fucked up, thinking people ain't aggressive, thinking people don't got no motherfucking personal agendas. You always getting deceived, you always getting played and let down, motherfucking disappointed by somebody and how they act, how they behave, how they treat you. It's because you a little blue pilled. You need to up your aggression. You need to up your realness of how you viewing this world. Really, you just need to align it with actuality. We're going to focus on the red and blue pill a little bit more. I'm going to just go back and forth just like you see. I got the motherfucking colors right here. So, red and blue. Goddamn. Imagine just being naive. You fucking believing in this society. You believing in entertainment. You believe in what your parents told you about how life is. You even believing when a man or woman say that they fucking love you and is fully loyal and is fully this and is fully that. That is a little bit of a blue pill reality, because you got to understand that the red pill is that sexual attraction exists and people is going to drift and go and look. And that's the potential that you deal with when dealing with another person, when putting all of your stake and stock in another person and them loving and caring for you. So this ties us into the purple pill. We triangulate. It's when you are aware of this shit, and this is really the biggest one when it comes to dating. Because if you mention the red pill and blue pill with dating, but you don't mention the purple pill, then you leaving out the whole triangle, which Trinity completes a lot of things in many cases. Family is just father, ma, mother, the M in the middle, and then IL, child. So it's a trinity that creates the family. But you get the purple pill. That's basically knowing the nature of men and women, whether you a man watching, whether you a woman watching. You choose to get into a relationship, you choose to be in a committed relationship, either raise kids, blah, blah, blah. But you know that relationship may fall. You know that you may one day break up. You know that life may just pull y'all apart, whether it's through attraction, whether it's through travel, whether it's through other people, whether it's through the motherfucking programming of this world, because the programming of this world is really what just has people more polarized in different extremes. So it's like, it's a lot easier to just get on the extreme side of a pole, and then you have an extreme energetic reactions and attractions in your life. But that's the media programming, that's the school programming, that's the music. It gets you extreme. That's fucking religion. That's fucking other people programming you with they program thoughts. Huge fucking game of bullshit that you just gotta wake up and free your mind from. So again, purple pill. Some of y'all men, you may be married, you may be living with a girl. Then you just gotta know that, like, if you start slacking, if you stop being a top tier dude, if you stop working out, if you stop reading, if you stop making money, then it's a good chance that she gonna drift. It's like actually natural. She gonna drift to somebody or something that can protect her more, somebody or something that she more attracted to. But then you really just gotta release and detach from everybody and everything. This is why being red pill serves you best in most cases and scenarios. But yeah, to be red pill, it can kind of make you angry. Of course, you got a lot of men in this world that's angry, but women and men can be red and blue pill. But red pillers, when it comes to how they deal with dating, they should be angry. They be upset. They just be motherfucking identifying with narratives about how all men is or how all women is. So it'd be bitterness. That's what it really be. Bitterness and resentment. And of course, I'm trying to get y'all out of that, but I don't really say those two words. Bitterness and resentment is extremely real. All right, so that purple pill is basically being loyal, being committed, being in a relationship, but you know female nature, you know man nature, you know that your partner can drift away, you know that, yeah, you could lose them. So you just stay strong regardless. You just must stay absolutely strong. So that's the middle point pill. Then above that, you got two more. You got the clear pill and you got the black pill. The black pill is basically pessimistic nihilism. Y'all know nihilism is just like thinking that life has no purpose, thinking that existence is just boring, it's just lame, is you got a nihilistic, pessimistic approach to life. Very hopeless, just a lot of just bland emotions, no joy, no excitement. You a nihilist. Goes into all of these other different philosophies, absurdism. That's just the only one I can think of right now, but basically thinking life is absurd. And that's kind of what I fall into, like totally. Because somebody has said in the comment on my video about life or our obsession with purpose being a distraction from the absurdity of existence. He said, oh, just another person that's falling into absurdism. Like, all right, that's damn near one thing I would debate is the absurdity of life, but you ain't gonna catch me on no debate stage no time soon because I know the law of polarity. Yeah, I'm gonna make a video about that soon too. So, goddamn, where were we? Oh yeah, the black pill. That's like the advanced version of the red pill, but it's when you start to get a little hopeless. And trust me, I've been black pilled, but black pill is just dark Gnosticism. Black pill is dark Gnosticism. So yeah, I told y'all before, dark Gnosticism has the opposite, and that's light Gnosticism. All religion is gnosis. It's all knowledge. It's all the study of life. It's all the aspect and perspective of, is God good? On the light Gnostic side, is this creator of this whole life good? Is everything about this whole existence good, benevolent? Or on the dark Gnostic side, you look at God as the evil demiurge. You look at him as somebody that trapped you as a soul into this human physical body, and you just got to live and survive in this crazy fucking realm of life, this crazy game of life. So that's the black pill. It's dark Gnosticism. It's damn near, you can look at it as atheist is probably gonna be more of a black pill type of person, but I don't really be watching and looking into the videos of this shit, but I'm just here to separate and make sure I draw them distinguishing lines. Because black pill is like, man, I mean, I think really a lot of occult information can be black pill, especially when you approach it from that dark Gnostic perspective, that you need to detach from this whole reality. You are a soul having a human experience, and nigga, you need to be focused on not reincarnating back into life, back into this human physical existence. Like, that's a very black pill approach. So on the opposite end of that, we got the clear pill, and this is what I offer y'all. Seeing that is good and bad and everything, seeing through this whole game of life, seeing through all of the illusions. But ultimately, this is observing and using the law of polarity. This is why I just said you'll never catch me debating, because there's no point. There's no point in arguing. It's literally means nothing. It's like the fact that literally one person, you could say one argument over here and another person can say, but ice cream cupcakes. Just the simple fact that they could say that shows you that a debate is futile. Niggas don't even have to say the same words as you. So it's like the law of polarity states that it's always going to be a flip side of the coin. It's always going to be a random opposite thing for whatever you present, whatever you think about, whatever you theorize, whatever you postulate, whatever you bring forth. It's going to be an opposite end to it. It's going to be somebody else with a whole nother opinion. So that's why the clear pill really is, of course, that Baphomet balance. It's that middle point understanding. It's that literally that being clear, knowing that it's good and bad, negative and positive and everything. You're masculine and feminine in your brain. We all just split as souls on the human experience, into bodies of male and female. So like, you just see through it all. You have a very relaxed, neutral, middle point state of being. You see the good and bad and everything. You see the darkness, you see the light, you see the happiness, the joy, the sadness, the anger, the lust. You see the helpfulness, the compassion, all within you. And then you just sit back and accept it. And then you probably just morph through all of these pills in a little bit of ignorant bliss over here. Ain't nothing wrong with that blue pill, ignorant bliss from time to time. And then of course you gotta have that strong red pill in this society if you want to be strong. Like if you strong, then you 9 times out of 10 red pill. If you strong and athletic in any way, shape, or form, at this point you most likely red pill. But a lot of y'all is probably purple pill too, because you actually believe in love. You actually out here dating, and that's okay, because like, nigga, everything is possible. You really can attract the mate. You can attract the baddie. You can attract the loyal woman that you can have to raise your kids. But in a lot of instances, and women on the same end, you can attract that tall, strong, masculine man making money, and he loyal and committed to you and want to be a father. But the hard thing is that everybody out here in the world has cognitive dissonance. If y'all listening to me right now, then your cognitive dissonance is like 80% less than everybody else's on the planet, even if you just considering my ideas. Again, no matter where you fall in any of these pills, 9 times out of 10, no blue pill people is going to be watching me. Well, actually, if you just stumble across a video talking about somebody talking about the 5 pills, then yeah, you probably are one of the pills regardless. And you may even accept that you blue pill. But everybody can drift into being clear pill simply with observing Baphomet science. The devil, the Satan, and the Christ, the above, the goat, which stands on top of the mountain, and the sheep herd below, following each other. You just come to this one truth. You come to this one understanding and move in strength and power. The horns, you fly free. You're free to choose and do whatever you want to do. Be whoever you want to be. You don't have to fucking choose no religion. This is not a religious symbol. It's just that, a symbol. I don't worship Baphomet. This shit means nothing to me but a symbol of alchemy and transcendental magic and seeing life clearly, seeing the balance in life, seeing the paradox in all of us, seeing the good and bad, negative and positive, the rest versus the active, the masculine in all women, the dominance in all women, the passiveness, the submission, the compassion in all men. And yeah, we living in this society, but y'all gotta know up at the top, them motherfuckers is goddamn evil. They is tied in deeply with secrecy and blackmail, and they is evil. And yeah, they perform evil on this planet, and they perform a lot of mind control on this planet. So yeah, that's of course the red pill understanding, knowing that simple fact. But everybody's getting more red pill. Life is just speeding up, but AI is here to take over. It's like, that's why more information and more truth is coming out. For one, they literally just did that space mission on April Fool's Day. Like, do y'all really believe that? On April Fool's Day? They really did the space mission on April 1st. One video I saw that kind of debunks it, or at least just gives you that ultimate polarizing perspective, is that parachute cars came out of the rocket ship after it launched. And those were supposedly the emergency parachute vehicles that was there for if it was any type of damage or some catastrophe during takeoff. The astronauts can motherfucking get into these parachute safety cars and eject. Who's to say that they didn't just do that? Who's to say that that fucking rocket, that missile didn't just shoot up out of your view and then go land somewhere else in the ocean? And it's like, bro, why would that not be the case? You really think that we living in this vast solar system, going around like this, going around the sun, and then just chaotically also doing this at millions of miles per hour, yet you feel like you're standing absolutely still. All of the things that they literally just tell you and show you pictures and generated images of, all of the things that they tell you, gravity, velocity, this, that, the other, that's all shit that science and NASA and people with $1 million equipment and just $1 million in general. So you know that they can create anything. You can see whatever in movies. Movies literally depict and look like anything. So we have planes So that may be some evidence to y'all to think that, spaceships can possibly exist. But the likelihood of it is very small, extremely small, extremely small. Because the vast space of this whole world, and you thinking that something is really traveling out there has the power to do that on the scale of which they tell us it all is, that's very like highly advanced and like crazy 10 times levels above just a plane flying 30,000 and 60,000 feet in our atmosphere. Even though that shit is trippy and almost seems impossible when you really sit back and think that, damn, just two niggas in Ohio allegedly did this, the Wright brothers. But, all type of theories that go back to Tartaria and tell you it was all type of flying equipment. All type of theories that just tell you that this world that we living in, all the buildings was already here 200 years ago, and the regime just came over, changed and re-scripted history, and the whole nine. But man, that's a clear pill way of looking at life. You got to observe both sides. You got to observe both sides of the pole. So maybe that's one y'all haven't heard. I'm pretty sure it's out here somewhere, but I'm saying it right now. The clear pill, continuous truth realization, CTRL frequency. That's the pill that we vibrating on. And you just you detached. So regardless if you get in a relationship and it don't work out, regardless of if you motherfucking don't got a lot of money, regardless of if you choosing to watch sports, watch TV, scroll on social media, regardless if you doing whatever habit, you believing in whatever, you trying and testing and studying whatever religion, it don't matter. Just motherfucking revert back to this. Knowing that this is your base, knowing that this is a template for shadow work. I've mentioned that. This is a template for shadow work. You study this and then you decode self. And that's it. If you're gonna be polarized anywhere, like I always say, you gotta look at this shit as a circle. You gotta look at this shit as a circle, 360 degrees. So it's infinite possibilities of how far you can just instantly, just a little bit, go outside of that middle point. You can instantly go outside of that middle point. This is the middle. This is that one dot right there. The caduceus. These are the snakes, Kundalini. The balance of masculine and feminine. So within a circle, nigga, you could always be drifting to a whole nother pole, to somebody else's pole that they invented for you. But this symbol right here was invented to symbolize and represent balance. Meditate, the meditative master over this planet. Meditate is the medium, it's the it's the mediate point. And that's it. And I was also thinking about this recently. When we say, what does something mean? Wow. We're really asking what's the most accurate collective definition of truth. Because even in math, you got mean, median, and mode. And first off, median clearly just means something involving the medium or the average amount. Then the mean is what? I'm not completely sure, but that's what we ask when what does a word mean? It's a definition. A definition defines a word. A word, a term, a sound can be infinite in its interpretation, but a definition defines it, brings it down right here to conclusive, boom, standardized, accurate to truth definition, an accurate statement of a term or a word or really just a sound, but an accurate statement. What does it mean? What does this state? What does this word declare? But what does it mean? It's like, what is the collapsed version of what this means that's generally widely accepted? That's like the same thing with mean, median, and mode. Yeah, I love that. I fuck with that. Because you really do got to know what words mean. You really do got to study and understand this shit and get down to comprehensive levels. And, I damn near feel bad for a lot of y'all that y'all don't possibly be watching Mark Passio. But this dude has tapped in really just on life, because it's so many different fields and crafts of life, things to be intellectually superior in, competent in, to know a lot about a certain field. A lot of y'all might know a lot about music, art, movies, media, culture, certain religions, but to absolutely be competent and confident on what is going on in life, fuck with Mark Passio, whatonearthishappening.com. Look at his lectures, his seminars, all his presentations. Look at how he breaks down words and terminologies as far as life. That's what this shit is about. Not cooking, not gaming, not sex, but life. Because those is all different fields. The NBA is a different field. The rap industry is a different field. Books and money and financial literacy is a different field. People is competent with financial literacy. People have a lot of information and game to give when it comes to the stock market. They're confident and competent within those fields. But to get confident and competent on life, you got to dissect that Dunning-Kruger effect. And that's the thing. It's a Dunning-Kruger graph that can be applied to everything. But the Dunning-Kruger effect of life really just gauges a person's competence and accuracy of truth. Of course, the word consciousness is involved when it comes to talking and speaking about life. Now, get this, y'all. Andrew Huberman actually said in a video one time that he didn't even want to touch the word consciousness. Like, he didn't even want to, like, dissect it and talk about it. Y'all, the clear, concise definition of consciousness is a being's ability to accurately perceive what is going on within the realm of self, the microcosm, and what is going on outside of self, the macrocosm. Then, of course, you got the midrocosm, a young CT original, which is the social game, which is war, which is relationships, socializing, media, sports, culture. That's the midrocosm. The macrocosm is really your astrology, the heavens, any ideas and philosophies and thoughts about God. Your consciousness is how accurately you are looking at and dissecting and understanding what that spirit is. And it's really just a motherfucking infinite power of some mysterious source. And we are also that infinite mysterious source of power within the human body. And then the microcosm is your own individual psychology, is knowing thyself, is knowing your inner world, knowing your body. Midrocosm, of course, is how we all interact, how all of it just collapses right into the middle, into the midrocosm. So yeah, Andrew Huberman said he didn't want to talk about consciousness. That's what consciousness is, a being's ability to accurately perceive what is going on within them and outside of them. Of course, and I've actually failed to mention this, y'all, but when it comes to the laws of morality, that shit applies to human beings. It applies to human beings with sentient awareness and the ability and consciousness to comprehend and perceive accurate definitions of truth and words, morality, natural, laws, freedom. If you can accurately define and get to the truth of those words, then those laws apply to you. But the animal kingdom, it don't apply to them. And that's simply what this represents right here. The illuminated animal. You are the sophisticated animal. You talk, think, imagine, dream, you perceive things. You are the illuminated animal inside of the human flesh. Motherfucking lions, tigers, bears, snakes, and insects, dogs, they don't have no consciousness on the level that we do. They have life, a brain, maybe they're actually seeing, they clearly are, but they're just like an extension of nature. They don't have this shit, language, speaking, understanding, accurate understanding of life and truth. You have that. So you are that goat. You are that illuminated pineal gland inside of the vampiric human body. Because the theory of how this shit happened is very mysterious. The theory, like, shit, fuck even thinking about recorded history and how I say that we really can't prove nothing past the 1900s. But just take all of life in general. Just take everybody who's potentially ever been born, lived, and died. Nobody can really truly explain the wild, crazy mysteriousness of being born, of being alive, of actual existence, of awareness. Like, this shit is that extreme. So all we do know is that we are separate from the animals. Like, that's one thing I done failed to mention. Like, we know that we're in human governmental slavery, violation of your human rights, fucked up actions placed upon you. They not cool. The police and cops and government is not cool. They is not performing cool actions. Now, you may actually think that they're more like, you see cops and you see police. You may start to feel sympathy for them, compassion. You see them in a grocery store. You see them posted up in a cafe. Nigga, you think that they more polarized on the side of Jesus, but they're really more polarized on the side of Satan. They're really more polarized on the side of animal, the way that they behave, the things that they do, the shit that they choose to do and violate. It's like an animal prowling around in the jungle. This is not the higher level, the flaming torch of enlightenment, truth, energy, high level energy, the wings, flying. They're not more associated on the pole of Jesus. They're not more associated on the pole of Christ consciousness, freedom and truth and love. They're more polarized on the side of aggression, violence, fear, chaos. That's what this depicts. This is you inside of the human body. But yeah, so be aware of that when y'all seeing and fucking with these cops. I promise you. Y'all may think they really Jesus and Christ-like. You may really think that they doing some selfless act. You may really think that they out here protecting and serving. Bro, they are protecting and serving the elites on a mass level. But on small levels, depending on your community, depending on the cops that you see riding by, yeah, they may be just actually keeping law and order in. They're enforcing their policies. But like I mentioned before, I do fuck with cops in some instances because shit, they really do keep people safe. The civilians that don't fight for themselves, the passive, submissive people, cops come in and keep shit safe. They keep shit good. So it's like, yeah, they got their part in this matrix, and then they're just an imperfect solution to the axiological asymmetry, aka the absurdity, the fucked up, crazy, chaotic. The cops is just an imperfect solution to the fucked up suffering and imbalance of pleasure and pain on this game of life that, of course, the antinatalists bring forth. Of course, that's an antinatalist idea, that life is imbalanced with the amount of suffering, the amount of pain. The fact that pleasure and joy and happiness tends to be kind of short-lived, but anguish and distress and pain and even just working on your shit, whatever it is that you're working on to get money, that shit can be a little stressful at times. Shit, you can always use alchemy to make it happy. That's why even the antinatalist approach, which is a black pill approach, I don't even really side with it that much because it's like, it's very pessimistic toward this game of life. But the one part that does make a lot of sense is that imbalance of pain and pleasure on this life. And of course, you plug in this simple simulation. Would you forego 2 hours of the worst pain that you could ever imagine to get 2 hours of the best pleasure that you would ever imagine? Most people would say no. So yeah, there's a lot of theories. There's a lot of ways to go. It's a lot of this, that, these, those, and this, that, and the other. But yeah, all you got to do is dissect and come down to that truth, your own self. Can't quite remember what I was saying before I got into that antinatalism. Oh yeah, the cops. Yeah, man, you thinking they on a Christ-like frequency? No, they on a satanic pole frequency. But it's just a response to the craziness of life. It's just a response to the backwardness and fucked upness of life. I swear, because we would be having to fight animals if it wasn't for that. The 5 pills: red pill, blue pill, black pill, clear pill, purple pill. Stay godlike, my people.